here's the way I compartmentalize things. That's the word we love to use on the show, right? Because we want to kind of always stay level-headed and look at it and say, okay, what are we looking at here? Okay, you get married to your wife or your husband. Those of you that are watching, those are the people you get married to, and you commit. You know what I'm saying? Your athletes, you can emotionally commit to them throughout their careers, but it has to be a way where you can't allow it to get in the way of your overall team. So, was the run with Jimmy Butler great? Yeah, dude. It was way better than I expected, I got to tell you. I don't know how many of you expected 2 final appearances, 3 Eastern Conference Finals appearances. I did not expect that myself. Okay? So that was awesome. And plus, I said that they needed another star to really make this, and they did in order to win a championship. But, hey, it is what it is. And then you got to take another step back and say, great run. We've had lots of them under Pat Riley. But, okay, what kind of a run was this? Let's talk about that. What kind of a run was this? Okay, it was maybe an overachieving run. It was great. It was fantastic. It was fun. But, man, all the stars aligned. Some of them, they giveth and they taketh away. Okay? You had your bubble year. The bubble, short season. Let's see. Sean, let's if you had to think of the most incompetent franchise in town that even made the playoffs on a short season, who would that be?
Well, that would be your Miami Marlins.
Exactly. So it was already a short season. So that already gave more teams a chance. So the Heat, and then you end up in a bubble. So now that even adds to the Heat culture, and everything falls your way. Now, giveth and taketh away, right? The injury to Bam, the injury to Dragon, that really changed. You had even the perfect opponent to be the Western Conference opponent, a weak Western Conference finalist. Because that team wasn't shit, bro. That LeBron AD team that won for the Lakers and beat the Heat, that's one of the worst teams that have ever won an NBA Finals. That's not really an impressive team. Let's be all honest here. Okay, perspective. It's really good to have perspective. All right? So you look at it and you say, all right, great. And then the other part, you had the Embiid injury. You had the Giannis injury. That helped you get to the finals. When you finally got to the finals, you realize you didn't belong anywhere near the same court with Denver. That was a real, Denver's much better than the Laker team you played in the bubble. So great run, but for the last 2.5 years, he has refused to play in the regular season. For the last 2.5 years, he refuses to try in the regular season. So he has hurt also his relationship. And he should hurt your standing in the way you look at him. Examples are coming. So you look at it and you say, hey, man, great time. I'm a Heat fan. You are, right? You're a Heat fan. Okay, I don't know how long you've been a Heat fan, but I've been a Heat fan since day one when I had season tickets. From the first day that Rory Sparrow in Game 17 of year one hit that shot off the elbow, and they beat the Clippers for their first win of the season, and the Miami Heat organization sent all of us season ticket holders a VHS that to this day I still have. A copy of that game, our first win ever, ending that losing streak and finally getting their first. So whether it's any of that or beating the Pistons or beating the Utah Jazz that year as an expansion or getting to the playoffs for the first time ever with Ronnie Cycli and Sherman Douglas and Glenn Rice and all of that, that was a fun era. Fun era. Did you win anything like major? No, but it was fun. Okay? Then in comes Riley. You go to the next level. And you have your Zoe and Timmy stretch, which was phenomenal. You were cock blocked by some guy named Michael Jordan? Yeah, that was a great. Timmy and Zoe, they were great, bro. They could have won a title. The Cavs, they were great. They could have won a title. The Indiana Pacers, they were great. They could have won a title. The Utah Jazz, they were great. They could have won a title. The New York Knicks, they were great. They could have won a title. If I take Michael Jordan and the Bulls out of the mix during that era, who wins titles there? You might be spreading them out like Oprah. You get one, and you get one, and you get one, and you, because it might have been who was hot, right? Oh shit! It was the Pacer boys. The Davis boys were a bitch that year. Reggie Miller and Rick Smits controlling the. Oh, Patrick Ewing had it going on. Zoe, Timmy, Riley, and the boys running. It could have all alternated, but we got cock blocked by Michael Jordan. So many cock blocked by Michael Jordan. Great era. Then in comes Wade, in comes Shaq. Short-lived, but fantastic. We all know if Shaq and Wade don't get injured with the rib and the thigh that first year, they beat Detroit and maybe even the Spurs in the finals. And they won it the following year against the Mavericks. So it was a beautiful stretch. It ended ugly, but you won the championship. And injuries might have stopped you from legitimately, not freakishly, like you had in the bubble and Giannis and all that other stuff. And then you had the big three era, and you had that time. And now you've got this going on. So when we start looking at the big picture, and let's say I start looking at the era of basketball and the people that have played here, who's most important to me? Wade is one, right? Wade is ultimate. I'm going to go LeBron too, even though I dislike the way it ended and the deceivery. I don't even know if deceivery is a word, but I'm creating it. You know what I mean by it. Just like Butler's doing a lot of deceivery right now. Zoe's my three. Zoe's my third most important player. Why do I say that? I just told you. He might have won a championship if it wasn't for damn Michael Jordan. His teams were great. I don't know how many 50-win seasons, even maybe a 60-win season squeezed in there, maybe. Okay? Those teams were awesome, and that era was tough basketball, playing the Pacers and playing the Knicks, playing all kinds of teams. It wasn't an easy era of basketball, my brothers and sisters. If you lived it, you know what I'm talking about. Then the man went and had a kidney replacement, and he came back to become the most important defensive center in the 06 championship. Just go watch that. Go watch the finals against the Dallas Mavericks. The most important defensive center in that series was not Shaquille O'Neal. It was Alonzo Mourning. So Alonzo Mourning has been a rock for so long. He's my third. That's for me the third most important guy ever in the franchise right there. Okay, we're going talent and then actually winning. Okay? Then I go, who's my four now? Where am I going? Am I going Bosch? Am I going Tim Hardaway? Am I going Jimmy? Shaq? So I'm going to go Shaq because you got the title with Shaq. That'll be my four. Okay? Who's going for my fifth now? Do I go Bosch, who brought me titles, made the biggest shot, the biggest block, the biggest assist in Heat history? Bosch is my five. And again, what Tim Hardaway did for us, I'll never forget. And again, I don't blame him sometimes. Yeah, I know he had the plantar fasciitis and he had a couple injuries at the end there. But overall, if it wasn't for Michael Jordan, Tim Hardaway did his job, hit a lot of big shots, and never quit on the goddamn team. So if I'm going to compartmentalize and talk about the people that mean something the most to me and what they've accomplished and how they treated the situation, hell, I might put UD at 7. And then maybe I'm talking Jimmy Butler at 8. Jimmy Butler had his best stretch of his career in the Miami Heat. So I credit the Miami Heat for the environment they also created and the coach that they have for his success too. But UD never quit on the team. And his defense of Dirk Nowitzki in 06 was fantastic. He didn't stop him because you're never going to stop Dirk, but there were times where he gave Dirk issues. And UD was money, baby, when he had to hit that mid-ranger. And he has always been there for the franchise, never quitting on the franchise. This guy quit on this franchise for 2.5 years in the regular season. So I'm going to go with people that accomplished big things, help build culture on a long-term basis, and has meant more to the franchise overall from when they played and after. So when I put him in perspective, he doesn't even make it in my top 7. Doesn't even make it in my top 7 as a long-term Heat fan. Deep down inside, I might appreciate Keith Askins more than I appreciate him. Ain't that a bitch? Yeah, Ray Allen 3, yeah. Shane Battier's effort. James Posey's tenacity. P.J. Brown's fearless toughness. He did all the damn dirty work, never ever wanted a headline, never gave a shit about a headline. Wasn't about him scoring points because that wasn't what you had him there for. So there's a lot of people that I can just talk about over the years and what they mean to me as a real Heat fan and what they've contributed. And I appreciate what Jimmy did, but I almost feel very mercenary-ish with him more than anything else. I really don't feel he wanted to be a Heat player because you and I know what happens if Jimmy Butler busts his ass over the last 2.5 years? Are they a play-in team? No. And then how do you think Pat Riley and these people reward him? They would have given him the extension because he would have left it all out there for them. And they respect shit like that. But if you're going to do this bullshit, they can't trust you anymore. So there's a lot involved in all of this. If you want to just look at the stretches and the successes, that's fine. But we've been at this for 30 years with Pat Riley. All kinds of teams have had success. And they'll continue and they'll figure it out. Are they going through a rough patch now? Yeah, dude, because they refuse to adjust to how things are going. I think they might start doing that now. By the way, that note that Barry Jackson threw out, okay? I mean, not the silly trades that he feeds you Heat fans out there. Well, if Durant this and that and any of these other big names that they had no shot at. But he did mention that there's a scenario where he could end up with 2 lottery picks this year in the first round. Past 10, of course, but whatever. But, and then it's like Ira was talking about in our interview, you can get a pair of those and then trade in and you get lower and whatever. So we'll see, man. We'll see. You never know. And supposedly there's a loaded draft or something. I don't know. I don't know shit about that stuff right now. I don't know enough to follow European international basketball or high school basketball to know what the hell is coming out. But it was a great run. Let's not make it out more than what it is. The guy didn't want to be here. He only wanted a paycheck. And when it came to it, Golden State gave him the extra year, and the mercenary took it because he knows his little body isn't going to hold up to get 2 extra years on top of the year he had left. He had to destroy his year just to get an extra year. And he did that because deep down inside, he knows that right now, for the rest of this year, when he plays, he could completely break down and be out for a year. Or get out till the beginning of next year, just only to break down again. I don't think the Golden State Warriors understand where that guy is physically, because I will be beyond shocked if you could see classic Jimmy Butler on a consistent basis for 30, 40 game stretch, which is what you're going to need in the second half in the playoffs if you're, really going to make some kind of a run. Yeah, that'll be interesting to see. So the con job is over, and I can't put even a con man in my top 7 when I start looking at Heat history. Jimmy Butler, a con man that can't make my top 7.
This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show.